I have always loved skateboarding and everything that comes with it, like the style, the culture, the photography and the music, and just like the general creative expression. During lockdown, I started a skateboard club in Belfast, and through that met so many cool people who also skateboard. I obviously tried to capture that time as best as I could with my camera, and one thing I always brought with me was a fisheye lens. Fisheye lenses and skateboarding go hand in hand, but I never thought that I would have a use for a fisheye lens in my professional work until now. Now that I'm shooting full frame LUMIX cameras, I needed an L-Mount fisheye, and luckily for me, TTArtisan sent me this. It's their 7.5 f2 fisheye lens for APS-C cameras. And when you put this lens on APS-C cameras, it looks like this. Like, yeah, that's pretty nice, but when you throw this lens on a full frame camera, like my LUMIX S5 IIX here, this is what it looks like. So when you buy this lens from TTArtisan, you've got this like screw off lens cover thing off the front, but they also include this black ring which goes over the lens like that, and basically that's there to make sure that the circle around the fisheye stays completely black. I'm never going to use this lens with it off, so what I'm going to do is put that on and then just tape it to the lens so that it stays on permanently. After a couple of months of using this lens, like I was finding when manually focusing or changing the aperture, I was knocking the black ring, which was letting in a little bit of light here. So yeah, gonna put the ring on and just like tape it to the lens and then use this little screw thing as my lens cap. One cool thing about using this lens with my LUMIX cameras is when I'm shooting video, I can shoot 6K, and then in post I can punch into the image to like fill the frame with the fisheye shot. Alternatively, you can shoot 4K, or if you go into the menu of your LUMIX camera, you can choose image area, I think it's called, and you can manually like punch into the sensor, basically crop your sensor to like an APS-C crop. So that kind of gives you two different shots with the one lens, which is pretty cool. You can do that with any lens, but it's even more noticeable when you do it with such a wide lens like this. Using a fisheye is a great way to get like right up into the action. You want the camera to be almost like an extension of your arm, which can be quite hard with a camera like this, but I think I found a really cool solution. This is a pistol grip from an old 35mm camera, and I bought it from eBay for like pennies. You basically just take the screw here and line it up with the tripod screw on the bottom of your camera. You've got this really handy handle that you can use to thrust your camera into the action. You can even use it to hold it up high to get aerial shots, or hold it upside down to kind of get like down low shots, like underslinging or whatever that's called. And with the camera like the S5 IIX here, you can even hold it up to your eye to use the viewfinder to help you when focusing with this lens. Kind of makes it feel like an 8mm film camera or like 16mm camera, you know? I'm sure there are modern versions of this pistol grip, like mine has a trigger, which I'm guessing was for like an old cable release, but it would be really handy if that trigger actually like started recording, but you know, this is just like a cheap old thing, and I'll survive without that. So there you go, that's my fish pistol setup. I have a shoot later on this week in Belfast with my friend Ben, who runs Process, which is a coffee and lifestyle supply company. Process is also influenced by skateboarding and 80s and 90s culture, just like me, so I thought the fish pistol would be the perfect camera, perfect setup to capture a day in the life of Ben and Process, so take a look.
I mean, we started and said it was a coffee and lifestyle supply co. That was like when we were chatting in 2020. That's what we wanted it to be. We wanted coffee to be an element of what we were doing. It's always been about coffee, but it's been about people. It's been about experience, and that's like exemplified in our coffee packaging. It leans into that experience, that nostalgia. But we're here to create future fond memories. We're here to do it again. We're based in Belfast, but we're brewed and showcased worldwide.
Fish pistol.
All right, quick blast around the Museum of Process sticker wall. Some of the coolest homies in the industry that we've got stickers from. They've sent us coffee. Stickers, like who doesn't love a sticker? Best marketing material ever. Stay close. This is like our first espresso machine. We got it from a legendary couple run a cafe in London called Paradox. One of my buddies, Ricardo, in about 10 minutes, just grabbed a load of spray cans, sprayed this up, and it's kind of become part and parcel of the Process brand. We've done some cool pop-ups and weddings and skate park runs, and it hasn't broken down yet. It's incredible. It's hung in there. Here's the little archive section. Like if you know, you know. Like this wasn't actually my first skate video, but my first skate video was played to death, and that was kind of like one of the core kind of concepts for starting the Process packaging and the Process brand was those core memories from childhood. All right, go, 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 let's go. Yeah, like I mean, like this is part of our collab with a coffee company in Abu Dhabi called Local Legends. Original Process tea. We did a collab with a coffee shop in New York called Culture that do the greatest cookie in New York, but potentially in the entire world. Kata, they're a Colombian export company. Kat used to work in London, moved back to Colombia, started her own import-export company, and is where I get mainly all of our Colombias from. We did have trucks on it for a little bit, but it's going to remain up there. And then that's when I used to be able to skate and could scratch up a deck. This is one final, most important element. This is where I sit and cry at the end of each day. If all roads lead to coffee, then that's the roads we're traveling on.
Love it.
That's the roads we're skating down. That's the roads we're pushing on.
Pushing on through.
We're pushing on through by.
So there we go. Let me know what you think of my fish pistol setup in the comments below. Thanks so much to TTArtisan for sending me this lens. Thank you to you guys for watching, and I'll see you in another video, hopefully very, very soon. See ya! Just finishing taping it on. Probably shouldn't be using electrical tape for this, but it's all good. There we go. It's all sticky now.